Good morning. My name is Jeff Shelton. I do fire behavior on Incident Management Team 5. My job is to provide decision support for the team. Two main functions: speed and intensity of the fire. The speed that I provide the guidance for will allow the team to understand how much time they have to move people out of harm's way to accomplish a task. That is our strategy. And the other thing I do is determine the intensity of the fire. And we measure intensity in flame length. And that flame length will tell us what tactics we need to employ, whether we can walk up and throw a shovel of dirt at the fire, or if we need a bulldozer or something larger to bring to bear on the fire. So today what I'm going to speak about is the fuels on the fire. And you'll hear the word fuels quite a bit. When I look at fuels, I look at it as purely as stored energy. Mostly what's burning on the landscape right now is timber. And timber has a lot of stored energy. Once you get into a fire that's in the timber, it's very hard to put it out, because there's only two ways to really put out a fire. You either need to cool the fire or you need to starve the fire. And so we cool the fire by putting water on it. Now, there's just not enough water that we could carry to put out a timber fire. Often the fire will burn into an area that is moist, and the moisture in those fuels down by a creek or a stream or on a north-facing slope, they will help extinguish the fire on its own. The other way we can do it is by starving the fire. And by starving the fire, I mean we cut a line where the fire burns up to that line and it has no more energy to tap into, and it will go out. So how do we then starve the fire or cool the fire? If we're going to starve the fire, we need to use bulldozers or have crews go direct and cut down that timber right in front of the fire. By going direct, we're right up next to the fire's edge. I can tell you from being out there for the last 5 to 7 days that a lot of the movement of the fire is actually under the canopy of the trees. It's not burning the trees themselves. It's burning the understory, the duff layer on the ground. And when it does that, it exposes the roots of those trees. Very heavy old growth that it's burning in. And when those roots get exposed, those trees get very weak. And they will fall without notice. They don't make a sound. It is very, very hazardous for our crews to be working right up next to those trees. If you have a tree that's 10 stories tall, and that means your safe area is at least 10 stories away. And so it makes it very hard to work safely right up next to the fire. And so what we do is exploit the natural features on the landscape, particularly the streams and the areas that the fire will burn into something more moist and cool, to let the fire self-extinguish, and then we will make really calculated decisions on where to go direct on the fire. So what we're doing is a combination of indirect and direct line, and we're exploiting every natural feature out there to remove the energy from the fire and allow this incident to get wrapped up as soon as possible, but really as safe as possible for the firefighters that are out there. Thank you for your attention, and I really appreciate your support as we've been out here.